Hey guys, Gamblefish here with a Ultra Funds matchmaking rank 10 showdown. At the time, I was in Total War Center clan, and this guy was in Kami no Jishin, who was one of our big rivals on the clan competition map. Anyways, a lot of people have been saying that one of the big knocks on these massive 22,000 fund battles is that whoever has the better veterans just wins, and they usually don't end up being close. Well, that can be the case unless we have identical armies, which we pretty much do. I brought my Katana Samurai detachment, my Naginata Meat Shield detachment. They're in the front to soak up arrows, of which he had none. A couple units of monks, my Kensei Katana Hero, level 8 Katana Hero. A few units of Yari Cavalry, and a few more units of Yari Cavalry and Great Guard hidden in the woods. He's got almost the same setup. He's got a level 5 fire rockets. I believe my fire rockets isn't veteran. A bunch of veteran Katana Samurai, really high level. Some veteran Yari Samurai, Katana Hero, Naginata Monks, and a crap ton of cavalry. It was basically a mirror match, which is pretty cool. He formed up, clearly intending, if you look at the mini-map, to go for the Morale Shrine up here. I formed up going for the Sword Shrine. I still can't decide whether in general it's better to have sword than morale. I'm tempted to say that sword shrine's usually better, but on 5k and 10k matches you definitely don't want to let your opponent cap the morale shrine, because Ashigaru armies, their one weakness is that they're easy to break. You maybe have seen some of my videos where a single unit of Great Guard routs an entire army or something equally ridiculous. So anyways, let's get this started. Enough of me talking. Battle start's pretty basic, simple. I sent my guys up. I put them back in tight formation. I don't need loose formation to soak up arrows anymore because he doesn't have any archers. And I go to cap the sword shrine. Nobody bothered to cap the bow shrine due to the fact that neither of us had any bow units, and to capture that I probably would have needed to send a unit of cavalry, which is definitely something I wanted to save. If you notice, I have these 4 units of cavalry over in the woods. I'm saving 2 in reserve. It's always nice to keep a couple of reserve units, and in a battlefield like this, I was hoping to draw him down, maybe do some skirmishing up here, and then right when everything is committed and all the battle lines are centered, because I have samurai, I know they're not going to break in the time it takes for me to get around and flank him from behind. But anyways, no such luck. My cavalry in the woods, normally I use cavalry in big battles like this to try and wipe out their gunners. Their units like fire rockets would be a great one to wipe out. Or hit their archers from behind, or scatter them. Often I use them by setting up a couple different ones out here and trying to draw him into a cavalry duel, or trying to get him to send a couple spearmen out so I can send in my melee infantry at the same time while he's distracted. The easiest way to win in a 22k battle is to do something crazy like hitting his general or getting an awesome flank attack in, because with 20 units to manage, I don't think there's a human being on Earth who can give orders to every single one of them and be aware of everything at the same time. I mean, there might be a really small reaction period, like 5 seconds, 10 seconds, if the dude is really legit good, but no one's going to be able to know everything. Anyways, I'm like, you know what? Let's get over here. Let's see if we can draw some of his cavalry out, get a little cavalry duel. I'm pretty confident of my cavalry, as you can see. I got level 6 Great Guards and level 8 Yari Cavalry. He had the Katana Cavalry. They just die in head-to-head combat, and his Great Guards and everything weren't as heavily promoted as mine. But not everything plays out as you might hope. Yeah, he's starting to send his spearmen out there. I'm like, this is good. Maybe I can get him to separate his forces, and I don't know what's going to go happen. And instead, he's just like, you know what? I'm just going to send all my cavalry after you. And I'm like, all right, bring it on, boyo. I got a lot of veteran cavalry units, and they are starving for your dudes. And this is the first step of me playing like a total noob, because overconfidence is sort of a sin. He formed up into wedge formation, and I was trying to run away and then decided to hit him at the last minute, and that wedge formation just carved into my guys. You can see there. You can see here. I mean, I just got annihilated. All of his guys hit my cavalry perfectly dead on. I totally blanked on thinking of what I was supposed to be doing. And then when I got engaged like this, I couldn't pull out because he was in the center of my formation with the wedge formation here. If I pull out and turn around, he's just going to kill a bunch of my guys. And I got tied up into a standing fight, which is not my most powerful. I was winning over here, but the problem is, if you will stay in too long and you're too close to their battle lines, they're just going to send infantry to try and get you. I would have lost more guys from pulling out, so I decided instead to just keep them there, try and kill as many people as possible, and hopefully I can do enough damage to his cavalry that he won't be able to use them in the rest of the match. Unfortunately, that didn't end up being the case because I just got obliterated. So at this point, I'm not feeling too hot. I'm feeling like this is not too good. I mean, I've got the attack bonus in all my infantry and things, but he's got the high ground. It doesn't look like he has any motive to come and try and attack me in this open terrain here. And to top it off, if I attack him up on this high ground, he's got a lot of area for his cavalry to maneuver, and I don't have very many spearmen. How many spearmen do I have? 2 units? Yeah, 2 units. I didn't bring any monks. Anyway, so I'm realizing that he's not gonna come and attack me. Although I had my cavalry killed off, there were a couple of good things at this point. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but this shrine right here is definitely under my control. His shrine is not. He accidentally deployed just outside of the zone where he could have captured it, and so that's pretty much why I decided to just go for it right now, because even if he moved back to try and cap it, he wouldn't get there in time to have the bonus activate before much of the battle was over. Anyways, I believe he realized his mistake the minute he saw my guys coming, and he decided to form up and send his fire rockets down here. I had my fire rockets too, and here I am thinking, oh, I'll just go up and shoot your fire rockets. Let's fast forward this a little bit. Unfortunately, his fire rockets were level 5, had the high ground, and my shots just totally missed. A little quick thing about fire rockets is if you want to use fire rockets well, oh man, this is just, oh, that is ugly. If you want to use fire rockets well, that's just embarrassing. Yeah. If you want to use fire rockets well, make sure you use your general to inspire them, because that'll boost their, you can see I did that just here, boost their accuracy and reload speed pretty significantly. And the second thing you want to do is do not waste your time shooting at a thin, spread out unit of archers, gunmen, other fire rockets, what have you. I basically made that mistake, realized that if I sat here, he was just going to shell the crap out of my army, and I'd formed up and was like, you know what, I sort of have to just go for it. Now at this point, I can see that he's still maneuvering his cavalry over to the side, and I'm thinking he's going to come in and try and flank me right now, so I have to go for this now before he can set up and just move in, because if I move for it, it's possible I could tie up his cavalry, or get him to leave his cavalry over here and be distracted by sending his infantry forward, or what have you. Anyways, here my infantry go in a giant charge. Luckily his fire rockets were still shooting at mine, so they didn't continue to obliterate. This was from one volley, 14 guys there, and if you can see under where my mouse is right now, it says fresh concerned under artillery attack. The best I can tell, that morale hit lasts the entire battle, so it's really bad to have just a fire rocket spray your entire army, because you're going to have a negative morale the entire time. Anyways, he starts sending his katanas out. To continue my complete crappiness this battle, they managed to basically get a free charge off on me and flatten a bunch of my guys. It's like 20 guys dead right at the beginning. And you can see the line of battle start to clash. Luckily his guys are neon green, so it's pretty obvious. The second reason why I absolutely should have lost this battle is, besides the fire rockets and cavalry, is that my gunmen, you can see, first of all, they're in a giant bunched formation. Second of all, they are right in the line of battle. If I fired now, I'd kill all my guys, in which I ended up somewhat doing. Second, they could just charge down and hit my guys from behind. At this point, I'm taking my cavalry up behind. The only reason I think I won this battle, besides the fact that he didn't cap the shrine, is you can see before when I decided to charge, because I thought he might be tied up, his cavalry, not anticipating anything going on and just sort of being overloaded, just charged straight in. They hoped to maybe break my guys. You can see how they were wavering for a minute. But they charged straight in, and I immediately was like, oh shit, I just saw you commit all your troops to the line of battle. You have nothing left. I take my cavalry, and after putting my general in stand and fight to give your guys an attack bonus, and I'm already getting killed on the front line, right? Come on, take your goddamn cavalry. I sent my other unit in to try and shoot their general, but he goes right up to the line of battle. Take my cavalry, swing them around, because I'm like, this is the only way I'm going to win this battle is if I get a good flanking hit. I mean, the line of battle's pretty much firmly decided, but all my guys are overloaded and getting overwhelmed. At this point, I'm like, oh shit. Not only are my guns useless, they're tied up in fighting, and they're not going to do anything. Luckily, I get an awesome flanking hit here on his great guard. I get the other one to come in and hit his fire rocket, so they stop fucking shooting at my general. The last thing is, I start to finally pull my gunmen back. Oh man, they really do a lot of damage, and by a lot of damage, I mean they don't do jack shit small amounts of units in formations like this. They've got to be big packed formations or cavalry. You can see right now, well, I spoiled it a little bit, but I was going to say, it seems right now he's got the high ground. He clearly outnumbers me in melee. My guys are breaking. They're freaking out. There's nothing I can do, right? And to a extent, you would be right. But the fucking general in this game, I swear, he hasn't captured the melee shrine, the morale shrine yet, which gives me a nice edge. And the other thing, generals have so much impact on your army. You have to keep him alive at any cost. He easily could have won if he had done either capture that shrine from the get-go so his guys didn't break, sent his cavalry around and flanked my guys instead of charging head-on into my Naginatas, and didn't send his general into the front line of battle. He assumed, as he rightly should, that he was going to win this battle no matter what. But, you know, you can't take anything for granted. Anyways, I finally put an end to those goddamned fire rockets, and in the process, you can see the left side of his army start to break. And at this point, I'm like, oh, I'm doing super well, right? He finally captures that morale shrine, and his guys that were going to break right here don't break. And you can see over here, these Naginata warrior monks, God, they just do not rout, like, ever. And he still has a huge mass of guys, led by, I believe, a Yari hero? Yep, he's got a Yari hero in there. And the Yari hero, combined with the fact that he had a fresh unit of Naginata warrior monks that I hadn't anticipated, and the fact that the morale shrine had boosted these two so that they didn't break when they should have, and my continued absolute fucking failure to use guns right, because I'm just like, hey, let's line up and hit you with them like clubs. Fucking dumbass. Anyways, this turns into a melee fight. I'm like, alright, I'll send up, get a flank, make them break or whatever like that. Instead, I managed to shoot my own guys in the back and kill half of them. Speed this up a little bit. Turns into a giant melee match right here, and I'm quickly realizing that despite the fact that I think I have the advantage, my guys are not going to hold out for long. I send my fire rockets into melee combat sort of as like a desperate last resort, and I finally was like, oh, you know what, bow monks don't look at my monk up there getting his ass kicked. I'm like, bow monks really suck at shooting at close quarters like that, especially when they're not actually shooting. So I instead pull back a little bit, got my general out of stand and fight for a few seconds, slapped another Inspire on this guy, and I'm like, you know what? Being on a hill is the one thing bad about it, is my guns can shoot over the heads of my guys. And just as my swordsmen are starting to break, and all my dudes are starting to go, bam, I'm starting to get some volleys off, and they just shoot so goddamn fast with Inspire. I mean, they're only rank 2, and they're just getting this stuff off like a machine gun. They don't have the rapid fire ability, they don't have anything. Just fire. He quickly was like, oh shit, that is not a good thing to leave behind. But by this moment, it's too late. It's the only thing that saved me in the end of this battle, was the fact that my guns got a couple really, I mean, look at that. They just shredded these dudes, and he's freaking out. He's sending all his guys up here, while his Naginata monks with 26 men left, a dead general, they've been shelled by artillery, and they're still, and they're tired, and they're annihilating my guys. I still thought this battle might have gone against me if it wasn't for my badass dude Kensei, the Katana hero at level 8, who is at full green morale despite the fact that half my army is dead and the last of his guys break. And I mean, talk about not only a close battle, it had a defined line of battle that was held for a long time, had a bunch of skirmishes, cavalry fights, and oh boy, it was just like the way you really want to see each battle end.